skill by the management team of the.
Why don't we move on to our power rankings?
Yeah, but I should point out this one thing:
for the week to come here, the state of the union, as we like to term it, power rankings for this week. Again, the 12 seeds there were from the computer system. These are our weekly power rankings, and we'll just rip right through these.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Bottom 5. Number 5, again, I got Lunches for Wimps. We have a team on the rise. They dropped down to number 5 for me. 5th worst team in the FLF. Number 4, I've got Redonkulous. They've moved up. I finally jumped off the train last week, dropped them to the 2nd worst team, but boy, here they go, 170. They moved to 4. Fire Spitting Jimmies, they've fallen down to the 3rd worst team in the league for me.
Ouch.
Again, we talked about them at the midseason report. They're looking for answers. They need a win right now. I'll call that a must-win this week. Boone Humper moves up a slot. They go to the 2nd worst team in the league.
Good for them.
They do have 2 wins, like my worst team in the league, the King. But the King is going directly down the toilet. Boone Humper at least showing some life.
Yeah.
Let's see how the King responds to being put down there in the cellar.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to you. I have Lunches for Wimps at number 5. You know, we've said it before. We don't need to say it again. Just he's got to work that waiver wire. Redonkulous. This team is scary, and you know, this is a team that if you're outside looking in, you really want to see Redonkulous make a run to the playoffs. But if you're in the league trying to make it happen, you don't want to see Redonkulous in the playoffs.
That sign out there says, keep out.
Our roads diverge. I got Boone Humper as, you know, my 3rd worst team. This team is won 2 in a row. Wins have got to count for something. Huge matchup this week. I like what they're doing on the waiver wire, and it's a nucleus that's coming together. 2nd worst team is the Fire Spitting Jimmies. You can't go lose 3 in a row, and you just can't do it. And I don't know what happened to this team. I had a lot of hopes for it. You seem to believe, Bud, that this team is going to make a late season run. I've personally not seen it. And my last team is the King. The King? It's not even the Queen anymore. This is like the servant. This is like the frickin' pauper who they throw his bones at. This team sucks.
Hey. Okay,
the King is the Queen.
Personal here. Let's just report here. Unbiased.
All right, unbiased.
Top 5 in the power rankings.
I give my opinions too, you know.
Yeah, I know. Why don't you go? Give me your top 5.
All right, I'm going to start off with the goods. I like again what they've done on the waiver wire. The receiver core is as strong as any others in the league, and but they do need help on running backs. It's a team on the ascent. I'm not sure what their streak was, but they lost a couple. I just see this team reeling off a couple of wins. But actually, this week they got a tough matchup. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Up next, we got the Mofos. I don't like doing it, but hell, as long as they're 5-2, they deserve a spot in the top 5. They win ugly, and I don't see this team lasting very long. I think as the season progresses, this team is going to take some hits and fall really quickly out of the top 5. Up next, we have Masonic. You can't win ugly like you done 2 weeks ago and then lose. Mason Keith Colby, I'm sorry. Masonic was Mason Keith Colby's original incarnation.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Yeah, if we remember, some of us a long time
until he had sex with his wife, and then Keith came.
And then they did it again.
And then they had sex again, and Colby came.
Who's up next?
Well, I think the Mofo said it was Bill. and then it was Brian or something. I forget now. Way to go, Mofo.
It almost makes you laugh.
There, get right up
yeah, Minsky Colby. Hey, this is what we're going to find out, and this is what we need to talk about: is the cold weather is upon us. Good, you know, put on your jackets and
how will the aerial attack respond?
You better hope that your fantasy league team is your horses are prepared to play in the cold. Some teams, I just don't sense, you know, Tom Brady may do well, but I don't sense Tom Brady and Wes Welker both doing well in the cold.
Not a lot of bad body fat on that little wee body of Welker.
Yeah, and he's a timing guy.
And start dropping a couple of passes.
Yeah, we'll see. The Rollers, you know, the reason why is because the Rollers it's such a crapshoot. The Rollers can either be good or they can be bad, but I have them as number 2 because they are 5-2. They are in a pretty weak conference at the moment, and they don't deserve it. None of these teams. I mean, well, a lot of these teams just suck. Let's be honest here.
All right,
Dr. Dick is number 1.
Well, we're a little feisty about these teams. I think they're all good teams, not great. 5, I've dropped the Rollers into that 5 slot. I'm worried about the injuries to this team. I'm worried about the moves that they've made to improve it. I think it's been tough. They've had a lower waiver priority. They haven't been able to grab maybe a couple of guys that could have helped them. I don't know where this team's going right now. I think this week is a pivotal week to see where this Roller team is at.
Huge week.
They've been winning, and now they've had a big loss where they didn't score well. Let's see how they respond. I got them at 5. 4th best team in the league is the Goods. The Rollers aren't going to be happy about that, but the Goods, to me, have the receivers in a PPR league to win and win big. They're just coming on now. Andre Johnson's coming back.
Wow.
The Goods, as I called in the first show here, as the team to watch, they fell down. They're coming back. Number 4. 3, I got the Mofos. I mean, this is the highest I put the Mofos. Congratulations, bud. You are 3rd in the league.
But they just scored 80 points.
And I don't see how exactly.
They had to score.
You know how to win.
And you can't put them at number 3.
Team
This team is no
I want to
good.
be on, because that's a team that believes in its players.
Yeah,
and every week they go out, they find a way to do it.
I bet the Mofos is kind of like that Dick Vermeil team where, you know, the Mofos, the management team sits around and cries, like, oh, I hope you guys, we're just going to win. And then they come out and squeak out a ball of crap win. This team is no good. As I said before, 847 total points. You know, the Rollers have 937. That's a 100-point difference. This team's getting lucky.
This is the power rankings as these teams stand today.
That's great.
When I look at these teams, I
That's
see a Roller team with maybe an arrow going this way, Mofo's arrow going this way.
Well,
right
we'll
now.
see how it goes down this week, won't we?
Mason Keith Colby had been going this way every week. Number 1, 3 weeks in a row, as I stated earlier. Drop him to number 2 here. You know, Dr. Dick has taken over that 1 slot. They've scored more
The only reason
points,
why you're putting...
and they have a better record.
And
to me, that's enough to jump and hurdle a guy who, quite frankly, diarrheaed in the bed all weekend long with that team that he put on the field. They didn't break, I don't think, 90 points.
Mason Colby should not be number 2. The only reason why you have him there is because you had him as your number 1, and you couldn't bear to actually look yourself in the mirror and realize that you were wrong. Mason Colby is hardly even a number 3 team, much less a number 2. Your final pick.
Dr. Dick, like you, Dr. Dick's the best team in this league, and I think that speaks to the parity of this league. I think this league right now is more balanced than it's ever been. I think that's a reflection of how good those managers out there are doing, how much they've learned over the years from the leaders of the league, the teams like the Peaceful Warriors who have been to 2 championship games. But they're in it every year. They're a hell of a run manager, a hell of an organization. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know.
Let's put it this way. I hope Dr. Dick doesn't get caught up sucking his own dick, because this team still has a lot of work to do.
Wow.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see this team shit the bed.
Okay, let's run through the week to come here, these games, and we're done.
No need to run. We're doing great. We're doing great. They're loving us. Hey, bud, you want a little bit of my beer?
Cheers,
Here, I'll
pal.
pour some into your bottle. Now, let's just get right to our game of the week, boys.
The game of the week.
Yes, this is an interesting matchup, but I think we both took a look at it and we said this one kind of stands out. It's close. Peaceful Warriors versus the Boone Humper. Peaceful Warriors are 4-3. Boone Humper is 2-5. Early projections are 129.37 for the Warriors, 122.59 for the Boone Humper. Your thoughts?
Well, I think the Peaceful Warriors win and they lose, and they win and they lose. Boone Humper's on a 2-game winning streak here. So you would think Boone Humper for their 3rd. I can't believe that that's going to happen. I think the Peaceful Warrior team is too talented. Missing Roddy White this week, but otherwise has their team together.
Has Roddy White done anything all year long?
The Boone Humpers, excuse me.
Gesundheit.
The Boone Humper is just plugging and playing talent, and I don't see how they can beat a team like the Peaceful Warriors who has enough each week to win.
Well, I think that's interesting. I think this team has got all